everyone to this course on music, sound and material culture in the early modern world. As you may already have on your hands the syllabus of the course. So during this first session, I would like to go through the objectives of the course, which is the first part of your handout, and make a general introduction about the course, in which I will stress for today the methodological problems of the course and which kind of methodological insights we are going to use. So, as the title of the course makes explicit, the objectives of this course are mainly two. I want you to learn, and look at your handout, I have listed the objectives. On the one hand, the history of music and sound in the early modern period, and on the other hand, I want you to learn how music and sound can help us to know about the history of the early modern period. So we'll learn both about music and sound and the early modern period. Broadly speaking, you are all history students, so you may know what the early modern period is. You may also know that there are many discussions about when it starts and when it ends. But here, for the aims of this course, I will just leave this broad chronological frame in which we'll treat the early modern period as going from the Renaissance, that is mid-15th century, so 1450 more or less, towards the French Revolution, 1789. So we will use this very big framework, and we'll be speaking mainly about Europe, but as you can see in the syllabus, in our last section we'll do a more worldly reunion. We'll speak about the relationship between Europe and other cultures. So to start, I wanted to know whether you have any musical knowledge at all, and what is your personal relationship with music? So whether you play an instrument, whether you have played one, or are you really music fans, or you don't have any musical knowledge at all, or you don't love music. So can we start with you, please?
Don't play an instrument, but I like music.
Any specific kind of music, or?
No, different types of music, I would say.
That's very good.
I don't play any instruments, although I like to think that I'm a great singer. Mostly rock, soft rock, indie.
Perfect. So contemporary stuff?
Yes.
Your name, sorry?
Mauricio.
And yours?
Sí.
That's a broad, sort of like one example. Broad.
Styles.
Yeah.
And you haven't learned an instrument?
No. I had to as a kid, but I wouldn't sing.
Perfect. What's your name?
Junior.
Played the violin and flute in school, terribly. Everyone's agreed on that. And then now I like music mostly. I like all kinds of eclectic music tastes.
Perfect. And your name?
And
I'm Wessel. I play piano and guitar. And I started listening to metal mostly. I kind of progressed to prog rock, kind of, and now there's a lot to like classical music.
Thank you very much. So I will keep musical concepts basic, try to be explain the most I can about musical concepts, but if there's anything musical that you don't understand, please ask me. Okay, I will explain as much as I can. So to start with, I will want to...
First update your computer.
Yeah, sorry. Let's close this.
Why are you distinguishing music and sound?
Well, we'll go through the examination of the title in more detail, like right now. But in a very broad idea, I would like you to think both about music and sound, because we tend to distinguish these two things. I'm not trying to distinguish them myself. I will try to integrate them in the discussion. So I will want to start with a short exercise. So we have 3 objects here. Can you all see well?
Mm-hmm.
So the one on the right hand, it's an early 18th century violin fan. It's made of ivory and ebony. On the top we have a knife with musical notation. It's from the 16th century Italy. And down there we have a clavichord with drawers. So we have these 3 different objects from different places over Europe, all from this period called early modern. And I would like to give you 3 minutes to think about these objects and write all the ideas you have about them. And specifically, I would like you to consider these questions. You have them in your handout as well. What was the object intended for? Who would use, place, or possess it? In which spatial and social settings? You don't have to answer each of the questions. Just bear them in mind when you write about the objects. What does the object say about musical practices of the time? And what does the object say about the historical period in which it was made? So it would be very useful for me if you can write down your historical associations in relationship to the object, as well as any kind of stream of consciousness, any ideas that come to your mind when thinking and seeing these objects. Okay, so here are the objects. Thank you.
Can you go back to the questions?
Do you prefer to look at the questions? Because the questions are just a guide for you to think about the objects. But you have them written in your handout, by the way. I prefer you actually to look to the objects because you have the more sensorial impressions. You know, whatever idea comes to your mind. Okay, are you ready? Do you want to write more?
Just finish one object with it.
Okay, so who would like to start reading what you wrote? I start you.
Well, 3 of them seem to have both practical and musical functionality.
That's a very good remark. Any more ideas about what you mean by practical?
Yeah, well, so the first one you can use it as a knife. The second one you can use it as a drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is what is it, a fan?
A fan.
Yeah.
So with practical you mean non-musical?
Non-musical.
Okay, because using a musical instrument is also a practical use of the object.
Yeah, non-musical.
Okay. So we can specify non-musical. Any other remarks?
Probably they belong to the upper class of the time. They seem to be made of exotic materials. They might have been objects of the court or entertainment in the court or something like that.
Yeah.
The other thing that strikes me is none of them is designed principally to create music.
Okay.
So like the fan, I guess is more, the instrument is more decorative. It's like an imaginative way of making a fan. The first one, the knife, is very utilitarian, but they wanted to add to its beauty or something. Whereas the one in that piano called the drawers, I'm trying to figure out, it's really designed for the drawers or is it really designed for the music? So it seems to be in between the other two.
I thought the knife, because it's like a religious object too, seems.
Why would you say it's religious?
Because it seems to be like a prayer or like a recital of a Deus, something, melody. So I thought it maybe belongs to some kind of monastery or clergy kind of to maybe cut the body bread or something like that, and then to have kind of symbolical kind of meaning to the act of food preparation kind of.
Yeah.
Not a paper cutter?
Sorry?
I thought it was a paper cutter. You know,
Like not really a knife, but yeah, no, it's actually a knife. It's you could use it for dyeing.
Okay.
Based probably was this right? It says something about gracious action.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know Latin, by the way?
I learned basic Latin at some point.
Yeah, it is actually a religious text, and it's plain chant, so it's supposed to help for religious singing. So, yeah, that's a very good remark.
So if I had to say who owns what, I would say that the fan is really aristocratic in a sense, so it does probably belong to a court or something. And with the one with the piano, it struck me as maybe belonging to a rich patrician kind of trader kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And the fan seems also very female instrument.
That's a very good remark as well. Maybe would you say the same about the drawers?
It could be that it could be in a lady's drawing room if she wanted to practice discreetly. It's sort of discreet music.
Yeah.
Music is not obviously for performance; it's for private.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if it's specific feminine or if it I don't know. It's difficult to say from the size what size it is.
Yeah.
If it is like very compact.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a shame that we don't have the full experience of the object here. We can't hear the sound of the objects, for instance. So I would highly recommend you to look at the objects online, and I provided you a list of objects in your handout, which you can see in the original museum collection. They normally come with their sound. So that's very interesting, and you have also photos from different sites. It's still not the multisensorial experience because you can't touch the objects, but it gives you a better idea. So yeah, thank you. Do you want to do more points? Okay. Are we okay?
I wondered one thing, can you actually play one?
You can play, but the sound is very light. So nothing in relationship to a violin we have nowadays. It's also a pochette, which is a small violin that people carry in their pockets. Pochette means pocket. Oh really? Okay. So just to sum up, we are going to exactly think about the early modern period in relationship to elite owners and the uses of music for entertainment, decoration, religious, and mainly feminine settings. So we are going to look at all these aspects, speaking about the Counter-Reformation and the culture of luxury. And at the same time, we will be thinking about how music interacted with other kinds of practices. It was in between different uses, and by people who were not necessarily professional musicians. How this introduction was clear for that. Thank you.
So what would you like feedback, specific feedback?
I mean, what I wanted to test mainly was this activity of like thinking about the objects without knowing anything about it, more than the other like aspects of the lecture. Do you think this activity works?
Could you go back to the questions?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I think it was really fun. So I think as a start of a course, this would work very well because it gets people right away into interest into the matter. Maybe a little bit more contextualization would work.
I want to give the contextualization now, but I don't. I didn't calculate the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as an activity it's great. Very engaging. So.
I was thinking the opposite, that maybe you could get rid of the questions and just show the thing. So why did you
Just
the
say
time
whatever
and
you.
say whatever
Yeah.
tells you?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you would have come to these points without the questions. Do you think so?
Yeah, okay, so your question was whether or not the activity, say your question again?
If I hadn't shown these questions, would
No, not that, because that's following up on his comment, but you wanted feedback on?
the specific activity of showing the objects and making you come with these ideas.
So whether or not these are the ideas from the course, so whether or not we understood that these were the main ideas of the course. Is that what I'm trying to...
Whether you engaged with the activity more than anything, because you said actually what I wanted you to say, so it was really good from my point of view. I mean, I made you think what I wanted you to say,
Right.
although I couldn't explain it in the end.
Sorry. What I was going to say, I think it helped me because you structured it. Like you put two big categories. So already in responding, I was thinking, okay, she separated the two. So one is going to be about the historical class, whatever, and the other is actually about and then you kept writing. So to me, I was guessing that because you were using your words, not what people said always, I was guessing that you were highlighting key themes. So in that respect, yes, it worked.
And that didn't make you not wanting to say what you really thought because I was using other categories?
No, I found it helpful because I thought, oh, we do know stuff about this already, even though I thought I didn't know stuff. So it was reinforcing for me.
But I think these questions helped as a frame for where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
Immensely, because right at the beginning of the presentation, you quickly, for half a second, went already to the pictures. I was thinking, okay, what are we going to do here? And this helped a lot to tell us what we're going to do. So I thought that was helpful.
You still haven't explained why you distinguish between music and sound.
Yeah, I was going to do it now.
No, but I can see with the knife. I mean, the knife makes sound, but not music.
Exactly. But it's a very good combination of the two because you make sound when you're eating and you have musical notation.
I wonder if you would have real footage in the sense of then showing, because I mean you have to engage people because I mean it is very. I find it a beautiful subject. I don't know how it goes down with modern undergraduates. I have no clue if you know. But do you have examples of people playing these old instruments? Would you be able to show films how they were used?
Not about people know using the objects, but I do have recordings of the sound of the objects, or some of them.
Yeah, I think because
That helps.
it's far, far away as a musical period.
Yeah, yeah. But what I wanted to do is also to speak about the objects as like objects, not only as musical instruments.
No, I see that. He did that very well.
So has everybody had a chance to give an answer to the question?
I had a comment, which is just that I think it all works very well, apart from the fact that I think maybe the questions are framed just a little bit too much in the sense of when you say things like what does the object say about musical practices of the time, that feels like the next set of questions on. So I think the questions about like who is it intended for, who would use it, those are the questions that we were answering. Where I was looking at like, what does it say about the historical period?
Yeah.
Thinking, I don't know. So I feel like the first two questions in particular are really helpful with this first exercise, and then you might want to go on to the second two questions.
Yeah, I mean, you answer a little bit the last one because like one of the main things is like Counter-Reformation. So in saying religious, maybe like a historical student would immediately have said Counter-Reformation or Reformation, or you know. Great. Thank you.